Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I would like you all to repeat after me. For better listening, better thinking, and better speaking, we learn by doing.
We learn by doing.
We learn by doing.
Thank you. I request you all to silence your cell phones during the course of the meeting. Since we are in an online meeting, members other than the role players, meeting leaders, and speakers are advised to mute their microphones during the meeting. You are urged to applaud using the emojis and through your videos. As a general rule, Toastmasters encourages all speakers and role players to speak on any topic except politics, religion, and sex. I hope you will enjoy today's meeting as I would. Let me now hand over the meeting to the presiding officer, a great Toastmaster, confident leader, speaker, and an exemplary leader, our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar.
Thank you, Mudassir, for this so generous an introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, let us do an exciting meeting today. The theme of the meeting is conversations. Conversation. Unless we have a conversations, we cannot bridge the gap between people. We cannot understand each other. So conversations are very important in any activity, in any diplomacy, in office work, in Toastmaster, whatever. Unless we have good conversations and with the positive thought of bridging the gap, we bring synergy into our relationships. Conversations is the key where we can bring people together. See why all these things are happening, the differences. We have differences, we have to celebrate differences and then be united. So what happens? Unless we have parlays, in diplomacy, what happens? We have parlays between people, between governments. But so that's the reason how we resolve any ticklish issues and come to conclusion. So let us converse with each other. But nowadays, in this millennial, everybody has become WhatsApp people, messaging, talking with people, conversing with people makes a huge difference. And you empathize, you understand. That's the reason conversations are very, very important. So today, the word master. Rupesh, are you the word master?
Sorry for that, but I don't know the word.
Parlay. I think
agenda.
That's the main thing. Parlays is a word. Hello?
Yeah.
Mudassir, can you just tell the word of the day if you know about it? Hello?
Yes, why not? Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Parlay means it is a noun, and the mean is a conference between opposing sides in a dispute, especially a discussion on terms for armistice. A parlay is in progress, and the invaders may withdraw. It is a similar words to negotiation, meeting, conference, summits, or discussion. As a verb, the meaning of parlay is to hold a conference with an opposing side to discuss terms. An example is they disagreed over whether to parlay with the enemy or not. The similar words, terms which can be used are talks, hold talks, speak to each other, discuss terms, and conference.
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you. And Rupesh, can you just count the number of times the people use the word parlay? Rupesh, okay?
Yes,
okay.
I will count.
Okay. And now we have a great, as I already mentioned, a backbone of our club, one of the pillars of our club. He is He is the Vice President Education. He has completed level 3 in our of the educational track, and he's a finance manager with innumerable qualifications. He's working as a finance head in a food manufacturing company in Jeddah, and he's a passionate Toastmaster who wants to improve his speaking skills, and you have seen him grow as a great speaker. Please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Mudassir Farooq.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar, for that lovely introduction. Before we proceed for today's meeting, I would like to announce the winners of the previous meeting. In our previous meeting, the winners were, yes, the best speaker, the best meeting leader, and the best topic master were all won by one Toastmaster, Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar. The best evaluator was distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar, and the best of the big threes was Noman. A round of applause for all the winners, and I wish you all the success for the future, and may you continue brightly as you have been. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and let's parlay today. Let's parlay on having a healthy environment, on having a healthy conversations among ourselves, and let's parlay to a great session that we can have today. Normal routinely over today's session is going to be divided in 3 parts. We will have the prepared speech session where we have great speakers lined up. Then we will have the table topics, the mysterious table topics where anyone can be the person required to speak on the spot. Then we will have our evaluation session, which is a mandatory requirement to help us to grow and to show progress. In order to conduct today's meeting, I'll require some assistance from my fellow Toastmasters, and I would now like to call on them to give a brief description about the roles that they will be playing today. Today's counter will be Mati Hashmi. Toastmaster Mati Hashmi, can you please explain your role for today's meeting?
Yes, the purpose of the R counter is to note any overused words or syllables used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjection such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Sounds may be or are. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mati, for that information. For our word master for today's in grammarian will be Toastmaster Rupesh. Toastmaster Rupesh, can you please explain your role?
Grammarian.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to the language usage of the speakers. I will take note of any improper language usage as well as any quote, sayings, and thinkings. And during the meeting, whenever called upon, I will present my report. Back to Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh. Our timer for today's session was Qazi Nakiuddin, but I believe he is not available. So can I request Toastmaster Sanat to take over this role for today's meeting?
I think Toastmaster Sanat is the general evaluator. If you don't mind, I can be the timer.
Thank you very much. So can I request distinguished Toastmaster Sundar to explain the role of the timer?
Toastmasters and all my dear friends, good morning. As your timer, I'll help you time your speeches, your evaluations, and table topic speeches. So I will be indicating the elapsing of time through the color cards, which will be shown on the virtual background. So green indicates qualification for any particular speech or evaluation category. Yellow indicates the midway, and red indicates the final limit of time beyond which you have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech or evaluation speech. For example, for prepared speeches, it will be 5 to 7 minutes, where green will be shown at 5, yellow at 6, and read at the 7th minute, and you have 7 minutes and 30 seconds to wrap up the speech. Similarly, for table topics, it will be 1 to 2 minutes, and for evaluations, it will be 2 to 3 minutes. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar. Our vote counter will also be played by distinguished Toastmaster Sundar. So, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar, could you please again explain your role as the vote counter?
Thank you once again, Toastmaster Mudassir. As your vote counter, I'll also help you identify the best speaker, the best meeting leader, and the best role players. So we'll do a voting using the Google Forms link, and the link would be shared on the Zoom chat as and when the particular segment voting is called for. Please select the person or the Toastmaster whom you believe performed their role to the best of their abilities. Back to you, Toastmaster Mudassir.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar. Now, without further ado, let us dive into the first session of our meeting today, which is the prepared speeches. For our prepared speeches, we have 2 speakers lined up. And one of this, for the first speaker, I would like to call upon distinguished Toastmaster Sundar to explain the objectives of the project. Distinguished Toastmaster Sundar, can you please give us the objectives for the first speaker?
Unfortunately, I have not received any yeah, just now I received it. Thank you. So today, my speaker is going to deliver his third project from level 2 of strategic relationships path. And the project is about introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. The speech title is Mentors and My Life. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. And also the speech purpose would be for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. So the speech time would be 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best to my speaker. Speech title, Mentors in My Life. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster. For our first speaker, he's a very dynamic person. I have seen him competing in different clubs. I have seen him giving speeches in different places. And I have seen him performing roles which most of us would not have even thought about. Just as a consideration, he has also worked as a vice chairman for a local cricket club while he was in US. Currently, he is residing in Saudi Arabia. He is working in Bahri Electrics. And all his roles that he has played, the role he enjoys most is being a father. I would like to now welcome to the virtual podium Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar. Please come and parlay.
Blessed are the people who get good mentors. Isn't it true? That's it, right? Mentoring is an opportunity. An opportunity to serve and leave a legacy. And that's at the heart of Toastmasters as well. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and my kind evaluator, a very warm good morning. I have had several opportunities in my life to mentor individuals. And at the same time, I was blessed to have several mentors mentoring me and where I got to experience as a protege. My first mentor was my grandfather. He was the first mentor who formed the principle-centeredness. Since he used to lead the community, he knew the interdependent world better than any of the people I have met since in my childhood. Later, it was my dad, my mom, my English teacher, Thomas, my first boss, Ray Joswiak, who was my direct report, and he was my mentor as well. Think about that, direct report. He reported to me, but I considered him as my mentor. We have Manaz in Taj, we have Sridhar, we have DTM Dr. Sundar, Jijo, Salman, all of these wonderful people, they are my mentors in my life. And I'm truly blessed to seek significant wisdom, leadership wisdom, common sense wisdom from them. First and foremost, the pillar of principles, what my dad, my grandfather, my mom told me during their mentorship is treat others the way you want to be treated. That was the first principle. Second principle, two wrongs do not make one right. And if you think that two pillars, as I have followed, essentially led me to having a contented life and all the disputes, anything that comes ad hoc, surprisingly, I was able to put this principle and get the answers. Mentoring is the soul of Toastmasters, supporting and nurturing each other through mentorship. And the encouragement and the guidance what I have received from DTM Sundar and DTM Sridhar is priceless. I'm truly blessed to seek their mentorship. They guide me at the nitty-gritty. And again, the beauty is the guidance is so subtle that you don't even know that you are being guided. That's the beauty, especially when you mentor adults. They just provide the guidance where it is required, a little tap. That's it. And that helps significantly. Speaking about Ray, he was my direct report. When I first landed in USA, I wasn't knowing the culture as much. And like we, down here in Middle East and Asia, to what extent do we stick to the right and wrong? And there is a gray area in between, how to cope with those gray areas. The world essentially is built on relationships. People make those choices to what extent, how to pick on others. Especially when you have a community which has been there for hundreds of years. You go as a newcomer, you try to use your right and wrong principles and go and pick on them. That's where Ray came in handy, saying, well, wait a second. There are a bunch of stuff, bunch of things which are understood. Why would I embark on what things are wrong? Rather, I would rather focus on what is right. And one of the perfect phrases, like what I loved and learned from him was, yeah, you can do better. My previous phrase was, well, why did you do this? Well, this is wrong. I never use those phrases anymore. And this is the exact wisdom, what mentoring does, and the way it is taught to you, that you don't feel like someone taking a stick in your hand and teaching you. The guidance is through the conversations. The conversations, what you have with my mentors is priceless, meaningful. It's not a gossip. There's a distinct difference between a conversation and a gossip. And if I put everything, the gist of all the mentors together, I can safely say that those conversations have created an experience that is the foundation for my beliefs in the leadership roles. The solutions lie in the conversations. The conversations define what's going to happen, what actions are going to be taken in any organization. When you're speaking of organization, even two people are organizations. Take it with your spouse, take it with your child. The way you talk with them, these conversations are the opportunities for you, first, to communicate what kind of a person you are. Second, to listen to them, to understand how they feel, and to understand what exactly is going through their mind and how could you help. If the intent is truly to help, the listening part plays a significant role. One common trait that all mentors put together is, to the degree that we believe that we can influence our future, our level of distress reduces. So the very act of setting goals relaxes us. Like the wisdom goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Proactive, yeah, plan it ahead of time. What am I waiting for? It's the perfection in me that most of the time kept things till end. And that caught me into addiction to urgency. I only took action when it was the 12th hour. But there are a bunch of things which I could do while I'm relaxing, which would be needed a week or 2 weeks from now. What I've learned from my mentors is do it. Now, what you can do it now. Effective communication and displaying high level of personal integrity. How do you do that? By being proactive. So thank you for all my mentors. They have taught me that the leadership is an art. There is no one fits all solution. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and two wrongs do not make one right. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ibrahim, for that wonderful speech. Two wrongs do not make a right, and let's try to make a right while we are in a position to make things right. For my next speaker, I would like to ask his evaluator to please come on and present his project. Toastmaster Mudassar. Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. For my next speaker, his speech length will be 5 to 7 minutes. His speech title is My Experience with 360 Degrees Appraisal. The purpose of the project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech in an evaluation speech. So this project, my speaker will have to deliver his speech, receive his feedback, apply his feedback, and also perform an evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. For my next speaker, I will invite the Toastmaster, who is a rising star in our club, in MECA KSA club. Very supportive personality, always willing to lend an assisting hand whenever required. Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar, please, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mudassar, for such a elative introduction. Doc Weaver has famously said, average player wants to be left alone. Good players want to be coached. Great players want to be told the truth. Then the question comes, why great players want truth to be told? Can anyone answer this? Let me tell you why great players want truth to be told. Because they want to understand their weaknesses so that they can improve upon that. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and guest, good morning. Few years back, I has got promotion and I was very happy and excited about that. But as a part of my promotion, I have to go through a 360-degree appraisal and psychometric test to understand my strength and weaknesses area. I thought recently I have got promotion, so everything will be well and good. So one reputed organization was involved to take me through this process. So I went through 360-degree appraisal process, and then I was waiting for result to arrive. I thought everything will be superb and all things will be as per my expectation. But to my surprise, I found few of the good area and there was some blind area where I have to work upon. One of the strong area I identified, I have very good sense of time management, collaboration and teamwork, strategic thinking. However, one of the biggest area came, I have to improve upon my communication with my team members so that they can improve upon their working on the project. And always they felt I have very limited communication with this. I always found myself very approachable, easy to go person. But once I got this feedback, I was very much surprised. Then I analyzed, then I found that since I am communicating as and when required only to my team, because I was thinking this is a professional environment, so unduly I should not communicate with them. Then I sat with my team and I explained my position, and thereon we started having regular team meetings where we can discuss on any issues, and I also started giving them regular feedback on the project that is going on or anything that is a plan in the future. So this way we improve trust and transparency among our team members. Second feedback I got, I am not proactive with my CEO. I was surprised to know this, why I am not proactive with my communication with the CEO. Then I analyzed, I found my CEO has very much detail, eye for details. And here I am providing him information only in 1 and 2 pages, thinking that he is busy with so many things. So if he get precise information, he can act upon fast. And this practice I have learned from previous CEO, because my previous CEO has strict instructions. All the information, whatever is coming, is to not be more than 2 pages, so that he knows what is important for him and whatever actionable point he can take action. So here I have contrast things. One CEO who want all information to be only 1 to 2 pages. Other CEO who wants summary, but as well all the details. Once I understood the issue, then I changed my style and I started preparing all the communication and presentation as per his requirement. This professionally helped me to improve my communication and relationship with the current CEO. And now professionally, both of us are doing very good. Now, if we need any advice, discussion, he calls directly to me and we always discuss the project. So this helped me to improve my style with the style of my CEO. Third feedback I got, I have to work upon on my leadership skill. Then I went through several books, literature, and identified the area that I have to improve. First area that I identified to improve is a transparency. Because one of the biggest surprise and issue comes with the team if they get some information from outside, outside from other department. So we started to have a regular team meeting to discuss all the key event, key program, then key initiative. I started asking them regular feedback so that they can share their thought on the project, so that if we have to take any course correction, we can take it. Third, the second thing I started working with them is the motivation, because unless the team is not motivated, performance will be down. So for this, we started a program where we started appreciating, giving thank you note to my team on fortnight and monthly basis. Second thing, based upon their appraisal, we also fix a budget where they can choose a program of their liking, which they can pursue to improve their personal and professional goal. Third thing, I started improving is the personal accountability, because normally in the organization it happens. If there is success, credit goes to the leader. If there is a failure, all the blame goes to teams. So this has to be improved. For improving, we started to have a clear goal, clear expectation, so that all members know what is expected from them. Then we started to have also feedback so that we can take a course correction. Third thing, we started to reward and appreciate the team member. Then last but not least, to improve decision making, we started to have a consensus meeting where all can discuss and arrive at a solution how we have to go forward. If there are any differences, then we have to discuss what are the pro and benefit, and then we have to take all team members together so that all are in the same line for delivering the project. Overall, I can say this helped me to improve my leadership skill, and I'm improving from yesterday and still growing. To summarize, I can say winners and losers both have same goals, but loser fails, but winner either goes to achieve the target or improve itself. Then if question comes, why winner is able to achieve it? Due to following a process, system, and motivation. So I will request all of you, if you want to improve, always you should have a process which we can follow consistently. And another example is Toastmaster itself is an example of good processes where we can improve our communication, leadership, and speaking abilities. Thank you, and back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh, for that wonderful speech on how to receive a feedback and how to rectify or have corrective actions for yourself. I would like to now know from the timer, have all the speakers qualified?
Yes, both the speakers are qualified, and I'll share the voting link now.
Thank you. I would request all of you, once the voting link has been shared, to cast your vote.
Daniel is not there?
No, he is not there. I have not seen him. Daniel is not there. Okay, and now for our next session, I would like to call upon another fastly rising star for MECA KSA Toastmasters Club, a Toastmaster who in a very short time has excelled in so many different ways, be it in communications, be it in role playing, be it in leadership roles. And I would, without taking any more time, I would like to call Toastmaster Hidayatullah for the table topic sessions. Toastmaster Hidayatullah, the stage is all yours to mesmerize the public.
Good morning, Toastmaster Mudassir, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the exciting session of the day, which is the table topics. Table topics is a session which is one of the best ways we practice thinking and speaking on our feet, or in other words, impromptu speaking. We never know who we may be asked a tough question, either by our boss or by a job interviewer. It is to our benefit to know how to properly answer the questions, or at least look like we are in control of the situation, even if we do not know the exact answers. The more we practice, the better we will get. Therefore, table topics enables a member to develop the skills of impromptu speaking. You can think of the table topic speech as a mini speech with an opening, a body, and a conclusion. Do not forget to use your personal examples. Each speaker is required to speak for 1 minute 30 seconds. Speakers are disqualified if they exceed this timing. I have written the names in individual slips, and I'll randomly pick the names and invite the speaker, and I have a wheel to select the topics. Let me upload this. So our first topic is going to be the topic is social media is an end of face-to-face conversations. So I will call upon Toastmaster Abdullah Suleiman to speak on this topic. The floor is yours, Toastmaster Abdullah Suleiman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Table Topics. I'm sorry, I'm driving currently to my office. Can you just delay my session to end of the Table Topics?
Okay. Okay. Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar, can you speak on this topic?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster. Social media, I don't agree fully with the topic. As of course, in the pandemic time, this has become a key tool for keeping contact with our friends, families, and office colleagues. But you cannot change social media with the personal touch that we have once we have face-to-face communication. I can give, once I talk to my mother regularly, I talk to her on phone or through WhatsApp or through video call. But always one of the desire she expresses when you are coming to hometown to see us, because I could not travel due to pandemic from last 2 years. So I can say whatever media transformation comes, the emotional touch and the personal touch that comes with sitting together and chatting and expressing love for each other physically cannot be fully taken over by any social media revolution. Of course, social media is a very powerful medium to communicate, where we can see face to face with each other and express ourselves. This tries to minimize the gap between us for communicating openly with our family and friends. But 100% elimination is not possible, because ultimately any technology can help us to express, but relationship is always based upon emotion, touch, and feeling for each other. For that, always we have to meet with each other and see, and then only we can understand the true emotions. So I can say that social media is a very powerful medium, but ultimately this cannot be a replacement for the physical relationship, touch, and emotions. Back to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh, for taking this topic. We'll go to the next topic. Okay, the next topic is going to be the topic is technology has made life better. So I will pick the name now. Okay, I invite Toastmaster Mati Hashmi to speak on this topic. The topic is technology has made life better.
Technology has made life better. There is no doubt in it, because if we go beyond, 20 years back, 30 years back, you see there was only radio, and there or means not a television in every home. So mostly there was a radio which was listened. So you had other means many differences. The companies were working in a routine manner, means like everything was going on paperwork. There was too much staff which was working on the documentation and bookkeeping. Everything, ledgers were being prepared manually, and there was no, as you can say, proper accounting software. So technology has made us our life better. And even when accountants, they had to close the year, and they had to go for sitting late at nights to just tally the trial balance. So this was the main uh, problems, and this was the many specific problems in the accounting function. And not I'm discussing overall scenario. So now we have the accounting softwares. Now the monthly closing is done quickly, and all and for all as accounting functions are performed quickly and fastly. And like other things, television has come, internet has come, and everything is going very fastly. The world has changed much radically. The situation has changed radically, and The world is going very fast. So technology has made our life better. We can order anything online, and by sitting in the home, we can get anything. Earlier, we had to do all these things manually. So obviously, technology has made our life better. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mati Ashmi. We'll go to the next topic now. Sorry, I think the previous topic. I will. The topic is children don't play enough outdoors. And I call upon Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramlingam to take this topic, which is children don't play enough outdoors nowadays. Yeah. The floor is open to you, Dr. Sundar. Dr. Sundar, are you okay?
I'm here. I'm just setting up myself because I've been doing the timing. So I'll time my speech, not a problem. I have a timer here with me. Why do we get old? Is it because we do not play enough? Or is it that we are old and so we are not playing enough? It's quite a very big question that we always ask ourselves. But today, the question that has been posed to me, are children playing enough outdoors? Fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends, the last couple of years has seen a revolution in terms of technology. We have seen a lot of social media, we have seen a lot of video games and a lot of engagement activities which can be done by all kids and adults alike sitting right at home. But take back 20 years before. Probably most of you have gone through this part of your life when you used to play outside in the mud, in the water, in dirty things, dirtying yourself, but enjoying to the core and still staying safe. So this is something which the current days children are really missing. I have countless number of times told my daughter who wishes to be on her laptop chatting or doing some kind of activity, be it productive or something that keeps her entertained, but still I tell her, come on, just go down, take a round on the bicycle, take a walk with your friends. Even if you're not going to play anything, at least do something. So it has been like a day when we were being pulled indoors by our parents to the day when we as parents are pushing our kids outdoors to make them play. Why has this happened? I believe this has been a major perspective change in terms of the children, which we parents are responsible enough to teach them and inculcate in them. A conversation has to be made by parents to children, by teachers to their students, and by the counselors or the medical teams to their kid patients. Playing outdoors has a lot of benefits. Definitely, today's children are not playing outdoors. They are missing out on entertainment. They are missing out on certain exposure to those germs, which would make their immune system really strong. And finally, one more thing that they can do is like the socialization, the interaction, the level playing field that they get to enjoy when they play outdoors, they are really missing out. This is something we all need to think about in perspective, and let us at least make one small change to make at least our kids go and play at least for 30 minutes every day outdoors. Can we do it? Back to you, David Topics Master.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar, for addressing this topic so well. So we'll go to the next topic now. The next topic is my way of parlay with my boss. So I call upon Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq to take this topic, which is my way of parlay with my boss. The floor is open to you, Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for that topic. Boss, we have an issue. The sales are going down, and we need to focus on branches 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need to do it quickly. Mudassir, I would suggest you send me an email and give me the reasons why we're losing the sales so we can look into it. This conversation, many of us might have had with our bosses. When I say sales, it could be anything. You can replace sales with anything. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, how do I parlay with my boss? I believe that the best way of communication with any individual is having a face-to-face conversation with them. I start off with the face-to-face conversation in order to understand what might the requirements be and what needs to be done. And then this face-to-face conversation goes to the form of data-driven information to be sent on the emails. One thing which I have learned in my career is that communication or parlay with your other party is extremely necessary to get your point across and to understand what they want. Many a times have happened that we have received an email, we read the email, we have our assumptions, we take our assumptions, and we reply based on what we think is required in the email. We are right because our assumptions are correct. But is this what was required? It's a question mark. Because the next person could be requesting anything. Where is he coming from? What are the things in his mind that he is requesting you this information? And why is he requesting this information? And the only way to know this is to have a parlay with them. To go up and tell them, I received this email. This is what I understood. What do you think? Is this what you want? Or is there something else you're looking for? Or you can prepare the information and then go to them and tell them that I have taken this information from this perspective. There is no correct way. It's only communication. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mudassir, for giving your style of communication with your boss. We will go to the next table topic now. The next topic is limiting screen time for children. So I call upon Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar to take up this topic. The topic again is limiting screen time for children. Over to you, Toastmaster Ibrahim.
Peter Drucker, his favorite quote, what I always love to refer, it's a phrase. What he said is, in a few hundred years, when the history of our time will be written from a long-term perspective, it is likely that most important event historians are going to see is not technology, not the internet, and not the e-commerce. It is an unprecedented change in the human condition. For the first time, literally, substantially and rapidly growing numbers of people have choices. And for the first time, they will have to manage themselves. And guess what? The society is totally unprepared for it. That's the gist. When I was growing, essentially, I didn't have to make a choice. One channel, Sunday, 5 o'clock, one movie, Thursday, some movie songs. That's what the entertainment was. But these days, entertainment is film. The marketers have got all of us. And unless, as a child, if you don't give them the opportunity of practicing, of making choices by setting up the priorities, set up the priorities, what your priorities are, and give them the freedom to make the choice. You never know. Their aptitude of working on the screen could be one of the USP, which is going to be helpful down the road. Look at you. How much time you spend on the screenshot. Why? Laptop is not a screenshot. Is not a screen completely that you are staring at. Children are staring at, and from an evolutionary standpoint, maybe the technology is going to help them to improve their eyesight. The arguments what I have seen in past is this child is going to be blind. He's staring at the screen all the time. Yeah, there should be some balance, but you don't control them. You instill the wisdom into your children so they begin to practice making choices. So they become an adult who are responsible adults who are grown making choices. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ibrahim, for your views on the topic. The next topic is going to be artificial intelligence is the future of technology. I call upon Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal to speak on this topic. The topic again is artificial intelligence is the future of technology. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal.
Good morning, everyone. Artificial intelligence is the future of technology. Is it true? Is it not? Just last week, I was browsing through my LinkedIn and I came across an interesting video. The video was of a humanoid, the first humanoid built by the Chinese. It's a beautiful lady they have created, and she was speaking. And there was an interview going on between this humanoid and a human. And they said, "You are as good as a human. You are intelligent. Are you going to replace us?" And she had a beautiful answer to that. Said, "No, because I cannot have one thing that you humans have. And what is that one thing? It is not intelligence. It is not anything else, but it says, I don't have a soul. I can never have a soul." So yes, that is artificial intelligence for you. I mean, pretty much you can replace a human. We already see so many intelligent devices around us, right from you're stepping in, you're entering a mall and the door opens by itself. Okay, it's a sensor, but probably that's a stepping stone of an artificial intelligence. Now, if you go forward, then there are more and more complex and advanced devices. We are using Siri, Alexa, I think Google Assistant, and all of this are learning from us. They pick up what we say, they pick up our styles, they pick up our accent, and they are able to learn and improve their responses to us. In some ways, it is making life easy for us. In some way, it is making us lazy. So there are two sides to the coin. But yes, they say you cannot put the genie back in the bottle. The genie is out. Artificial intelligence is there out there, and it is only going to get better from here or improve from better. There have been some interesting table topics, and they said is one of the previous table topics was, is technology making life better for us? I believe as long as you are in control of the technology is making life better for us. The moment the technology is in control of us, then probably it is making life worse for us. I think the same will go for any technology, including artificial intelligence. So yes, artificial intelligence is the future of technology. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal, for your articulation of your views on this artificial intelligence topic. Toastmaster Mudassar, do you have time for one more topic? One last? Okay, thank you. Okay, the last topic is the topic is always have an upper hand in any parlay. Do you agree or disagree? I call upon distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar to take this topic. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar. The topic again is always have an upper hand in any parlay. Do you agree or disagree? Thank you.
I think DTM Sridhar is also the table topics evaluator.
Okay.
You can call, I can speak, no problem, but only you can call if Abdullah Suleiman is there, you can call him if he is available.
DTM Abdullah Suleiman, are you available now?
Abdullah,
yes, finally, yes, I'm available now.
He can answer. He can answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster, Table Toastmaster, and also Toastmaster Mr. Shirley. Understand this topic. Always there is no upper hand because you have to think win-win. The upper hand that is, I think, to be in yourself, in the part what you control. You cannot control out of our inner circle. So I think when we say that the upper hand is always could prevail, it is not logical and it is not practical. The whole world, you cannot control everything around you unless you control yourself first. And I think this is one of the emotional intelligence important part that we have to control ourselves and to manage ourselves. Then you can be able to manage others. So especially, for example, in the work, even if you are working with your colleagues or your subordinates, you need to have some sort of way of communication, upward or downward. So you cannot impose what you have unless you get in a better way of communication and to think, as I mentioned at the beginning, win-win.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it will work.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdullah, for your views on the topic. Thank you very much to everyone for participating in this exciting session. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Mudassar.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for that exhilarating session of table topics. I mean, I was surprised at the range and the variety of the topics that you had selected today. Amazing, amazing. You kept everyone on the top of their feet. Thank you very much for that session. Now, without taking any further time, I would like to now invite our general evaluator, Sanat Agarwal, to come to take the podium and evaluate the sessions for today. Toastmaster Sanat. Sorry, I forgot. Timer, have all the table topics speakers qualified?
All of them are qualified except Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal. So I have shared the voting link. Kindly vote for the best table topics.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So kindly vote for the best speaker. And while we are voting, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal to start his evaluation session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. What an interesting set of conversations we have had, starting from the prepared speeches to the table topics, and indeed very interesting table topics where the table topics masters has had a blend of technology with conversation or communication. Very interesting thought process on the table topics, I must say. So let us start by the evaluation of the prepared speeches. We had two very interesting speeches, and to evaluate the first speech, we have a distinguished Toastmasters to evaluate Toastmaster Ibrahim Kharchikar's speech. The evaluator is an associate consultant oral surgeon at the King Saud Medical University. He is a Toastmaster since 2017, currently club president of the Taj Toastmasters Club, vice president PR, the Garegana Toastmasters Club, and club mentor at MECA KSA Club, which is our club. He is a Division B champion and district semi-finalist in International Speech Contest 2019-2020. So fellow Toastmasters, please welcome DTM Sundar Ramalingam, Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, to evaluate Toastmaster Ibrahim Kharchikar's speech.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Let me set my time before I start. Blessed are those who are blessed with great mentors, and blessed are us all for having heard such a great speech from Toastmaster Ibrahim Kharchikar. Fellow Toastmasters and all my dear friends, I bet that you would not disagree to my earlier statement. What a great speech that we all heard today, starting from what a mentor is and who all have been his mentors. That is starting from his grandfather, his mom, dad, and his English teacher, and in workplace, how Thomas and Ray, being even a subordinate, Ray was still even his mentor. And what all he learned as a protege in these different walks of life when he was being mentored by different people. Some of those exciting one-liners that Toastmaster Ibrahim was delivering out in his speech were all of those lessons that he has learned. Some of those eye-catching ones, or rather I would say the ear-catching ones, were treat others as you would like yourself to be treated by the others. Two wrongs can never make a right. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Do it right there, right now, correct it when you can. And there is no one-size-fits-all policy. A great speech on the whole, a great way of explaining the objectives of the speech, which were to introduce to us what Toastmasters mentoring envisions. And he was talking about not only Toastmasters, but how mentoring should be envisioned and how we as mentors could make a change in someone's life, be it professional, be it personal at home, or be it in Toastmasters. A great speech, a very well delivered speech, and one of the best things that I've heard today morning. Toastmasters Ibrahim's speech was filled with these great anecdotes, great incidences, and interacting conversations between him and the other people. And also, he had a great presence on the stage wherein he was delivering the speech with so much of confidence, and that eye contact made a huge difference, that it was piercing right through your eyes and getting the message delivered to your hearts. These were some of the great points of Toastmaster Ibrahim's speech. But if I have to suggest some points, I know Toastmaster Ibrahim is a champion speaker himself, but if I have to suggest him something, and as he said, how, as mentors, we do subtly things. So subtle things that could be looked up in his speeches, like, using the stage. There is a concept that we always call a stage anchoring. So when you're talking about a particular aspect of your speech, you anchor yourself to one point of the stage. For example, if you talk about your grandfather, make this as your stage. If you're talking about your mother or father, you take this point as the stage. So every time when you are relating to that particular character, you can move in and there, so that it reinforces in the audience's mind through a non-verbal communication stream that you are talking about that particular character. And second important thing is, like, today's word of the day is conversation. Of course, he used the word of the day several times, but the real conversation was what was missing in Toastmaster Ibrahim's speech. Rather than making too many characters, if he had limited the characters and brought in a bit of conversation, we would have been interested to hear what or how his grandfather conveyed to him this beautiful message. So that conversation was lacking a bit, and that could spruce up the speech to the next bigger level. On the whole, a great speech, great way of talking about what mentoring is all about, but just doing this bit of stage anchoring and doing a bit of conversation to enhance the non-verbal communication to Toastmaster Ibrahim, I can see you at the top level. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, ATM Sundar, for that interesting evaluation. And I would recommend Toastmaster Ibrahim Karchikar to hold parlays with ATM Sundar offline to have probably maybe other insights into the speech and how to get better. For the next speech, we have an evaluator who is a finance professional currently working as a finance manager in a food manufacturing company. He is a cricket fan, he is a football fan, and he has, or let me say, he is a fintech fan and has interest in blockchain technology. He is joined Toastmaster to become an effective communicator, and we have seen that effectiveness in communication throughout today's session, because the evaluator is none other than our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq. I welcome Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq to evaluate the speech of Rupesh Kumar. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day and evaluator, Toastmaster Mudassir.
Thank you, General Evaluator. My experience with 360 degrees appraisal. Toastmaster Rupesh, a speech delivered nicely, showing your experiences of how you received the feedback from different people and how you implemented it to improve yourself. I can only clap my hands the way you delivered your speech today. It was as if you have rehearsed the speech a couple of times before you came on stage. You knew exactly what you wanted to deliver and how to deliver. What the things I noticed that you excelled at today's speeches were that you had a great opening way of engaging your audience. You put up a question, you put up a quotation, and then right up you put up a question to your audience. And definitely whenever there's a question, people do tend to listen. Okay, what is he wanting to say, or does he want to do? Your transition during the speech from the opening to the body to the closing was seamless. Like I've said, it was seen that you had rehearsed your speech well before time and you knew exactly from where to start and where to end. That was something very commendable. You had your personal story, which is the most important thing in any speech, because no one can challenge your personal story. No one can know what has happened. You're the only one who was in that story, and you're the only one who knows what had actually happened and what was the required outcome from it. Well done. However, like all speakers, there are things which can be improved. There are things which you can work on and which you can enhance your abilities to become an effective speaker or an effective communicator in the future as well. And some of the things that I would like to see you to work upon are to have a more energetic opening. Like when you're saying something and you're asking a question, you just give a burst of energy and you point, like there should be something. Another thing which I would like to point out is that your speech was monotonous. It was one tone throughout the speech. So like if you're asking a question, you could have just, hunched your shoulders, have that question mark in your eyes. And if you were conveying something motivational, you could have shown your joy. And like I said, it was a conversation. It was a monologue throughout the speech. You could have had conversations. You could have decreased the number of instances, like the communication you had with your subordinates, the communication that you had with your boss. What were those conversations? So dialogues are very important in order to engage the audience and to deliver your message across. Your hand gestures, I saw they were very, you have the space, open them. The world is yours. The space is yours. Enjoy your hand gestures. Your tones could increase, could vary as per the situation. Overall, a very good speech. But like I've said, please consider these 3 points for your next speech when you're going to be delivering them. Thank you. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq, for that very generous and to the point evaluation. And now we have the table topics evaluation. And to do the table topics evaluation, we have a gentleman, he's a certified public accountant from California Board of Accountancy, and he actively coaches students for passing US CPA exams. In fact, he is a world-class speaking coach as well. He's worked as a manager, internal audit and assurance service in Fawaz Al Hokair Fashion Retail, and currently works as a project manager, Oracle ERP Fusion implementation with Samsa Express. He is one of the most senior Toastmasters of the fraternity, Toastmasters fraternity in District 79, a man of unimpeachable integrity. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster and President of our club, DTM SR Sridhar, to conduct the table topics evaluation. Over to you, DTM.
Yeah, thanks. Dr. Sudhir, how much will be the time? Now it will be 3.
So we had 7 table topic speakers. So the time would be, minimum time would be 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So green at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, yellow at 4, and red at 4 minutes 30 seconds. And you have 5 minutes to wrap up your evaluation.
Okay. Thank you, General Evaluator, for your generous introduction. Now, the table topics were really superb. It included all facets of conversations and recent technology we're facing through. The first table topics: social media reduces face-to-face conversations. Rupesh Kumar. Rupesh, you disagreed with the topic, with the start itself, and you said about your conversation about your mother and how pandemic reduced face-to-face communications, and a lot you did agree. So what I would suggest is it looked like you are sitting and speaking, and when we are sitting and speaking, we don't have that liberty to speak so freely. So I would recommend what you spoke was so nice, but yet bring what I recommend is bring more energy. Normally, agreeing and disagreeing in the topic immediately, we get tongue-tied. So say a few words for pro, say a few words for cons, and then come to your conclusion. That gives you a leeway to speak in table topics. All in all, it was a good speech. Mati Hashmi, regarding technology, this technology, you spoke very well. What I like about your office work and how it happens, about technology, and Only thing what I would like to recommend is that you have a very good speaker. Is that need to, I would again same thing, you please stand and speak. When you stand and speak and looking at the camera, it's very important. So it really gives impact to what of your message. So these are the only two things I would recommend, to stand and look at the camera. Dr. Sundar, children nowadays don't play outdoors. You started off so nicely. What I liked about it was your gesturing and the words, and your stage movement was so good. So I was just mining, what can I say? What I can add value for you? One thing I felt was the topic was conversations. So you could have a little bit at the end, and what I liked was your ending was also very good. You asked the question, what? So a little bit on, if you could have touched upon, because theme is conversations. You can say this at one point. We could have added in that point, saying that the children will go down to play. At least they can converse with people. Otherwise, they don't do that. Something like that point, if you could have added, it would have better. But all in all, it was a fantastic. All the boxes you have checked. The third, now, Mudassifar, my way of parlay with the boss. You started off so well. You just had a conversation with your boss, and you just brought out the idea how very nicely you mentioned that conversations are very important, so that only we can win-win. It cannot be done on emails or all those emails. For you, I would say that when you're talking like your boss and yourself, the voice seems similar. We can change the voice. I would like to, it would have been better. And Ibrahim Karjikar, limiting screen time. You started off very well, you spoke. Only thing, one suggestion, as you are a contestant now, I would say that I'll stick to only few points. You spoke too many things, like, so what happened at the end, you were groping for time, you ended abruptly. This is the only what I felt. And looking at the camera is also very important. In sometimes you look here and there, so looking at the camera would make a huge difference. Sanat, you spoke extremely well. Only thing what you have to take care of the time, and then you are just clasping your hands. If you don't clasp your hands, it can good. But you covered the topic very well. But we are off time. Finally, Abdullah Suleiman, welcome. Upper hand. Do you have an upper hand in parlays when communicating, in conversation? Yes, you did say that. You articulated very nicely, and saying that you have to have win-win situations. You cannot always have an upper hand. The only recommendation is that come frequently, speak more often, and you are looking at the camera. That's very good. Only thing, you need to stand and speak. All in all, the topics are so good. Congratulations. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar, for that wonderful evaluation. I really appreciate the way you have been able to pick on and recommend to every table topic speaker. From now, let's move on to the next part of the evaluation, which is the report from our meeting leaders.
Point of information, so can we vote for the, sorry to disturb the evaluator, can we vote for the best evaluator?
Sure. Can I request the vote counter to put the link in the chat?
Yeah, in evaluation, I was the timer too. So in evaluation, all the evaluators were qualified except DTM Sridhar. So kindly vote for the best evaluator.
Have you put the link? I cannot see the link in the chat, DTM. I still see the table topics.
Yeah, I'm just going to share the link now.
Okay. Okay. In the meantime, let us move forward with the meeting leaders report. So let me start with the R counter, can I invite the R counter? Sorry, I don't have the introductions today, so that is kind of my limitation as well. As an evaluator, I should have requested that introductions earlier. But can I invite R counter? Mati asked me to present his report.
Yes. First, I shall talk about the prepared speeches. So, Mr. Ibrahim Kajikar, he spoke one time. Mr. Rupesh Kumar, he spoke one time. K 2 times. Now I come to table topic session. Mr. Rupesh Kumar, he spoke 2 times. K 1 time. Matti Hashmi, I think I spoke maybe 1 or 2 times because I was also speaking. Then Mr. Sanas Agarwal, he spoke 2 times. Mr. Abdullah Suleiman, he spoke 5 times. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mati Hashmi, for that report. I guess we all have the task cut out for us, and to improve upon our or reduce our R, if not completely eliminate them. And can I now invite the next meeting leader, the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar, to present his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The word of the day has been used by DTM Sridhar by 4 times, Toastmaster Mudassar Farooq more than 5 times, Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjukar 2 times, Toastmaster Sanat Agrawal 1 time, Toastmaster Hidayatullah 1 time, Toastmaster Sundar 2 times, and the important sentence which I can note down during his speech used by Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjukar: 2 wrong does not make 1 right. To DTM Sundar used: let our children play outside at least 30 minutes. Toastmaster Sanat Agrawal gave a nice quote: you cannot put Jenny back to the bottle. So AI is here to stay. It is all about control. Who controls who? Thank you, and back to General Evaluator Sanat Agrawal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar, for that interesting report. And can I now invite DTM Dr. Sundar, the timer of the day, to present the timer's report.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sanat. The timer's report is as follows. For the prepared speech, we had 2 prepared speeches. Toastmaster Ibrahim took 7 minutes and 29 seconds. And Toastmaster Rupesh was just on time, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Even if he had taken 1 long breath, probably he would have been disqualified. But both of them are qualified. As far as table topics goes, Toastmaster Rupesh took 2 minutes and 1 second. Toastmaster Mati Hashmi spoke for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Myself, I spoke for 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Toastmaster Mudassar spoke for 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Toastmaster Ibrahim spoke for 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Toastmaster Sanat took 3 minutes and 34 seconds. And Toastmaster Abdullah Suleiman, he took 1 minute and 28 seconds. And in the evaluation category, myself, yours truly, I took 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Toastmaster Mudassar took 3 minutes 25 seconds. Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar took 5 minutes 21 seconds. So out of all the speakers in general evaluation, Toastmaster Sanat in table topics, Toastmaster Sanat, and in evaluation, distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar, they were the ones who are not able to qualify. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Sanat.
Thank you, DTM Dr. Sundar, for that interesting timer's report. I guess probably even if you had taken a long breath, you would have been kind of exceeded the time limit because it was just 3 minutes 29 seconds. So we had a wonderful evaluation session. Thank you all the evaluators and team leaders. Let me have also a few of my points which I want to kind of put in as a general evaluator. I think they say all is well, what ends well is well. So to that extent, we are completing our meeting in time or well ahead of time. So that's a positive part. But what is not so positive is that we started the meeting late, probably about 12 to 13 minutes late we started. I was also part of, I acknowledge my part in that delay. I was also kind of probably one of the last ones to join. So I guess we all need to work upon ourselves to make sure that we start the meeting in time from next week. Fingers crossed. Second part is the agenda was not in place. We did not have the agenda. So we're all kind of, during the meeting, let's say we are struggling on kind of asking for introductions, asking for who is going to do what, and which also affects the quality of the meeting because we are not fully focused on the meeting. We are doing the task in the meeting which we should have probably done before the meeting. So probably we need to hold a little bit more parlays amongst ourselves as XCOM, even the XCOM members and the meeting leaders also need to kind of have greater conversations and try and see that we have these things in place, the agenda, the role players and things, all of these are in place in future. And all in all, I think we had a wonderful meeting today. And with this, I would like to hand over the baton to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq. Thank you.
Thank you to General Evaluator Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal for that honest evaluation session. And thank you everyone for your time and for coming so early in the morning and doing all your best. And yes, I believe whatever the points highlighted by the general evaluators are correct, but we need to have some communication among ourselves in order to see where the problems are and how we can rectify those problems. The word of the day was parlay. The theme was communication. So let us have open and effective communication among us so that we can help this club to reach new heights and we can help ourselves to grow as well. Because at the end of the day, this is a platform being provided from Toastmasters. We have the senior mentors and members here to guide us, to help us. And no matter how much we thank them, it does not suffice. Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar, Distinguished Toastmaster Sundar, Toastmaster Ibrahim, although they are here to support us, but we are lacking an oversight that we are not able to communicate with them, or we are not able to take the required mentoring support that is required for us to grow. And if we are to see this club to grow, we really need to pull up our socks and go beyond our comfort zones now. Overall, I thank all of you for coming today, for joining the meeting. It was a well-rounded session. And as final words, I will hand over the lecture now to the president of the club, Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar, to take it over and close the meeting. Thank you. The lecture is yours, Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar.
Thank you, for Toastmaster of the day. We had a wonderful meeting today, albeit there were a few people, yet we had a very quality meeting. One thing, as I also reiterate what Mudassir and Sanat mentioned, we will have to release the agenda by Tuesday or Wednesday so that we have the liberty to call outside stars for evaluations like Lancy, because the agenda was not there, I was not able to call them. So then going forward, we'll see that the agenda is there by Wednesday itself. Okay. So, and I request all of the members so that they can help Mudassir and Nauman to prepare an agenda, because we have already circulated the Google Forms. And I also mentioned in this group. So in fact, we'll have some conversations with all the members, and let's see that this will not happen in future. Now, so let's vote for the big three. The big three are the Toastmaster of the day, Mudassir Farooq, the table topics master, Muhammad Hidayatullah, and the general evaluator, Sanat Agarwal. So while the voting is going on, I would say that it was a huge, very good meeting today, and I would like to say invite today Suleiman. He has come after a long time, so I would request him to please come and start giving his projects so that he can also complete the levels. So now we are 5 points. Mudassir Farooq has already finished the level 3. We require one more level 3 to get one more point, and then we have to have level 4, level 5, other things, so that we can increase our points to 9 points. We have already attended the officers training, so that point we will get. So we should have a target to all of our members who have already completed level 1, level 2 to complete the whole path this year, and let us all with passion grow as a speaker, like Mudassir, Sanat, Anand, how much what you can see the level, and Hidayatullah, how they have grown as speakers. Let us all, they are all role models for us, and let us see that all the speakers of our club, all the members of our club would benefit by this Toastmasters program. Dr. Sundar, the results are out?
Just working on them.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Abdullah Suleiman, how are you? Can you give a little bit of feedback?
Thank you, Sridhar.
Unmute yourself. We want to see you. We want to see you. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Just a minute.
So next week, are you speaking? We want you to speak. Give a speech. It doesn't take much time. You want any mentoring, I will mentor you. Don't worry. I want you to speak.
Sorry for disconnecting for a long time because of have some special conditions, maybe personally, that I couldn't be able to attend all these valuable sessions. And thank you also for your leadership and for encouraging me from time to time and to just to give some energy in order to catch up with those master sessions. I think I'm sure it will develop and enhance my skills. I can promise, yes, in the coming sessions, I will, free my time and myself to also to get up to other levels and to complete my first level.
Good. So the next week you are speaking. Okay. Next week, one speech you are giving, so that you know.
Okay. I'll do my best. I will do my best.
Okay, and at least fill up those points. So fill up those Google forms. Okay. Yeah. And when you're speaking, so only when you take the first step that you can proceed ahead. You take the first step. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to take responsibility for the meeting has not been happening because I also was facing too much of other issues. But anyway, this will not happen in future. So now, Abdullah, you have to take that. You have to just take the first step. When you take the first step, later on, everything happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So next week you are speaking. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Doctor, I think it must be ready.
Yeah, it's ready. It's ready now. Okay, so here are the results for today's meeting. Our best prepared speaker was Toastmaster Ibrahim Karchikar. Table topic speaker was yours truly. Best evaluator was also me. The best meeting leader was Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar. And the best of the big three was Toastmaster Mudassir Farooq. Congratulations to all the winners of today's meeting. Back to you, presiding officer.
Thank you. And we had a great session today. So now before ending, what could be the theme for the next week? Normally I give the theme. What could be the good theme for next week, next Saturday? Dr. Sundar, next Saturday will be 20. What is it? Today's 19th, 26th. So we are having a joint meeting on 28th, no?
Actually, we'll be having a joint meeting. So if you would allow me, I can actually speak on that. Yeah, so there will be a joint meeting conducted by Area 6, and it will be held on 28th of February, which will be Monday evening. It will be an online meeting. I know the timing might be a little bit unfavorable, but would appreciate it's like an equal share of responsibilities for all the 5 clubs of Area 6. We have 5 speakers, we'll be having 5 evaluators, then table topics, and even the role players will all be assigned to 1 per club. So I think information will be shared about this in the Area 6 club group. And this will be like a kind of a continuing affair. So every club will be given a chance to do a joint meeting. So, and the current club that's going to host it is Taj. So it will be, since they are hosting it, it will be on their day of the meeting. So when the turn comes for MECA KSA to do the joint meeting, they can do it on Saturday. So we can request the other club members to join on your day of the meeting. So that's how the system works. So I would appreciate the president and VP to assign role players once the announcement is made.
So now, do we have to have a meeting next Saturday? That's what I'm asking. Or because it's a joint meeting we're having on a Monday?
That is up to you, the club.
Okay.
It is this Monday or is it the next Monday?
No, next Monday, 28th.
Next Monday, 28th. Okay. Our meeting will be on 26th. So what do we do? So 26th. So we can finish our projects on 26th and we'll have a joint meeting on 28th. And that's a hybrid meeting, no? No, it's an online meeting, yeah.
It's an online meeting, sir.
Online
Zoom
meeting,
meeting. So
what is generally the timing for that on Monday?
7.
It will be 7 to 9:30.
7 evening, right?
Evening, yes. Okay. So the following roles have been assigned for MECA. So it is timer, then 1 speaker, 1 evaluator, and the table topics evaluator. So you just need to assign 4 role players.
Mudassir, note down. The timer.
Timer, 1 speaker, 1 evaluator, and table topics evaluator.
Timer, speaker, evaluator, and table topic evaluator. Okay.
It's an opportunity for us to meet our other club members, so that and so do we have a meeting next week, 26?
We can have a meeting if we have speakers available. So if we have
because of that. For the joint meeting, we'll have a speaker will be there.
Not for the joint meeting. I'm talking about the Saturday. So if we have 3-4 speakers or even 5 speakers who are willing to come up and give their speech on Saturdays, we can have a session on Saturdays. Otherwise, if it will be the same as what has been happening for the last few weeks, that we have Ibrahim and 1 other speaker, then we can just postpone it and have it on Monday.
So Monday only 1 speaker can speak. Only 1 speaker.
Yeah.
Only 1 speaker.
Mudassir,
we'll have a meeting.
Mudassir, you need to be politically correct, okay? Yeah, you will learn those things as time passes. You don't say those things in the face of people.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Well, you were honest, and I can understand that. But how about this?
I was appreciating that you are the one giving the speech. No one else is even willing to come up.
Fair enough. See, the good thing is, look at the positive, that we hold the meeting. We conduct the meeting efficiently. That's the positives, right?
Yes.
Yes, and we can continue doing that then. True?
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you can go and do your counseling and do your mentoring to the people and encourage them to come. And you can use me as a role model for them if that's what they need, or else whatever parameter you want to use. I thought we had the other guy, right, from Mumbai, someone Kazi. He used to come.
His laptop crashed. He wanted to speak. He messaged me. He was in the computer market today in the morning. He messaged me. I'd asked him to join through mobile. He messaged me in the computer market to get the laptop. There, he was in the. That's what he was telling. So now we will have a meeting. So we'll have, how many speakers are there? How many speakers are there? Mudassir, you can speak for level 4 now. I have not even sent your congratulations. I will try to send.
Little nudge, little push, incremental progress. That's exactly You will benefit. One project you'll be done once you set that for yourself. I will do the same thing. We all will grow, make progress, finish our projects. Otherwise, trust me, we are not going to do anything important besides that than sleep and be lazy at home, right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what.
let us conduct the meeting on Saturday as well. Let's say I will also try to do one prepared speech, but I will probably give a confirmation midweek. But I will.
Hidayatullah, you can give a speech, no? Hidayatullah can give a
Abdullah
speech.
Salman was available.
I can give.
Abdullah Salman is giving the speech anyway.
Yeah, we have 3.
Yeah.
4.
I'm available.
We already have
Yes.
4.
Why don't
And
we
I can
have
even
Masi
see
giving us?
Toastmaster Rupesh raising his hand. So,
I will also give
probably
one speech.
Toastmaster Rupesh can take up one of the big 3 roles. We have
I
not
will
seen
give
him
one
in action as
speech.
the TMOD.
No, I can give one speech.
There you go.
Very good.
5.
So that I can
Awesome.
complete my level 1.
Rupesh, if you are interested, I might suggest you something. You can do the TMOD's role, and there is actually 1 credit that you can take in Pathways doing the TMOD.
Okay, no issue. Then that is also okay.
Actually, there is actually one elective project, I believe, in level 3 or something, which is about managing online meetings. So if you are doing the Toastmaster of the Day's role, that is as good as doing the manage online meeting. And similarly, anyone who takes up the role of a table topics master, if you are able to do an active listening, there is one elective project, I think it sometimes comes in level 2 or level 3, which is active listening. So it's basically you have to do the table topics master's role, and you have to give like 1 or 2 line comment about what you listened from the speaker's speech. So this is also a project. So I believe that's what Toastmaster Ibrahim is right now doing now. Any role or anything that you take up as a Toastmaster in any meeting, make sure that it counts. So you just complete the levels, and you are improving yourself. You feel happy with those certificates that's coming up to you, and also you're helping your club grow. You have the education awards for the club. You get the DCP points, and this is the simple trick that we all do to get things done.
I've also joined one pathway in MECA KSA. I have not joined any pathway in MECA KSA. I'm only giving in class, so I'll join so that I'll also start giving speeches. I wanted to give chance to others, so that's the only thing.
I think we are already on 5. I think we should. I think we may not be able to reach 10, but because something was missing.
9. We can reach 9. We can reach 9.
Yeah, we can reach 9, and make sure that this year the club officer list is sent at least before that.
Yeah.
Next year.
So now, if the agenda is there by Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can call a lot of Lancy will come, Bala will come, so many other people will come. That lady will, the 2 ladies will come. Okay, we can have good evaluators from outside also.
So
okay.
I think, yeah. So again, if anyone needs help with that, I'm willing to help, but put things together, ensure that we send the agenda out, at least the frame, even you may not have the details of the project, but as long as you have the speaker, assign the evaluator for the person, speaker.
And the big 3.
Exactly. So send the agenda at least 3 days in advance. Now, basically, you have for the structure.
In this regard, Toastmaster Ibrahim, if you would allow me, can I request you designed one agenda on Excel. Would it be possible for you to share it with Toastmaster Mudassar so that it can be customized? It was much more elegant and easy, and you can fill up the details, and it was really very well worked out by Toastmaster Ibrahim.
I will forward that.
Yeah, please.
I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Forward it to Mohammad Noman and our Mudassar also, both. Mohammad Noman may not be available for 2 more weeks. He is having a training in the morning, but he said he will do other things. He'll do all the parlays and conversations he will do. And he's doing it anyway. He's doing it anyway. Okay.
Sounds good.
So, by Wednesday, the agenda has to be out. Tuesday, we'll make it Tuesday. Wednesday, the final agenda will be out. And I will also talk with our other people. Lancy D'Souza is willing to come. Umar Farouk is willing to come. And then the other, Shamira Azhar is willing to come. So but they need some advance notice. That's the only thing. Okay, that's it.
So can we attend the meeting?